Hi friend, I'm dressed this way so you can trust me, because you should. And you know the number one thing that terrorizes us in this world and gets in the way of you having a better life? Freedom. The righteous ones like me are on a very progressive journey to find more ways to have even less of it. I think we'd all like to imagine a world for our children that's free of freedom. Don't you think? For those of us who are against freedom, I'll tell you what we stand for in a minute. But first, in case you've yet to be converted, I'd like to share with you 10 reasons why freedom's a bad thing. Reason number 1, freedom requires you to think for yourself. People are inherently not very intelligent and therefore should have their thinking done for them, for their protection. An IQ of 70 is required for safe, independent thought. But as you can see, the average IQ in our society is E equals PC squared. So it's best to outsource your thinking to mysterious people over here who love power, and then think the thoughts they hand you while pretending they're your own. The media will help you do this. So turn on your TV. It's like the psychological breadline for you to get your very nourishing thought handouts from. And it should be the only place you get your thinking from. Freedom will make you uncomfortable at times, but if you're willing to give up your freedoms in exchange for protection against what could make you uncomfortable, then you'll have nothing to worry about. It's like if someone offered you a bulletproof coffin with a cozy pillow inside, and all you have to do to ensure you're protected and comfortable is get inside. You'd be a fool to say no, right? Freedom doesn't offer you a comfortable coffin of protection. With freedom, no one's controlling you. Being in charge of your own destiny is like being a slave to no one. And that's the worst type of slavery. Having to do what you want to do treats you like your life matters. And because matter is an object, this objectifies you. But if you were like a video game character that someone else is controlling, think about how easy and enjoyable it would be to never have to worry about doing anything that fulfills you. And besides, if you're free and independent with no one controlling you, doesn't that sound lonely? Freedom requires self-responsibility. Do you remember being a young child and how great it was having someone else feed you, wipe your butt, and make decisions for you? There is a reason why young children and babies have no self-responsibility. That's because it's a sign of being a mature adult. Replace your self-responsibility with someone else's responsibility by letting the government and big tech be responsible for you. These respectable people are in the best position to decide what you need, what'll make you happy, when you can work, when you should see friends, and they know what's best for your family. The responsible thing to do is to always let someone else do it for you. Freedom comes with free speech. Under the tyranny of free speech, thoughts other than the ones that have been programmed into your mind have the right to be spoken. That is very threatening to our way of life. Statistically speaking, 99.98% of all speech is hate speech. And hate speech is objectively defined as speech that you subjectively hate, which is all speech that represents thoughts that don't come from the one true source that you get your thoughts from. Do you have a way to just like kill all nature? With freedom, you constantly learn and grow. Not only is that exhausting, it's hateful towards all current thoughts and ideas, because to learn something better means you have to think the old thing wasn't good enough, and that's hateful, and hate's destructive. And when you learn something better, that means you become better, which means you think you're better than your past self. You look down on your past self, and there is no place for that kind of supremacy that comes from learning. With freedom, you can't just print money when you want more of it. You have to like work for it. But in our genocide of freedom, you can print money when you want more of it. Making more money is literally how you make more money. There's no downside to printing money, only upside. Like the more of it you print, the more valuable it gets. Just like water in a pool. The pool's not very valuable if there's only a little water in it. Nobody likes an empty pool. But when you put more water in the pool, the water becomes more valuable. because there's more of it. Just like with money. With freedom, you can protest, but you can't peacefully protest. And there's consequences to other forms of peaceful violence as well. It's like it's against the law in a free society, which means a free society doesn't welcome you to throw a temper tantrum like a 2-year-old as a way of demanding that other people change to be the way you want them to be. They expect you to act like a barbarian by using words and actions that are rooted in truth in order to enact change. Why is no one protecting me from this wind? With freedom, you're allowed to not trust those who try to control you. Level-headed people know that all people that don't 100% trust every authority figure, government official, and computer programmer are conspiracy theorists. Isn't it obviously better if we just outlaw all religion so we can have the opportunity to trust authority figures more than God? Even history shows there's never been a person in power that proves to be untrustworthy. Living in a society where you aren't free to determine who you trust and don't trust is a society you can trust has your best interest in mind. Freedom gives you equal opportunity, not equality of outcome. Leaving people's outcomes to what they earn through work and effort levels promotes hate and incentivizes prosperity. Like if you have 10 people running a race, the winner shouldn't be the one that runs the fastest. That would be racist against all races, including the winner's race. What would be more fair is to have an equal outcome of the race, where all 10 people lose together. Now, with those 10 science-based reasons for why freedom is bad, please join us in helping protect society from freedom by voting for communism. Communism needs your vote. Freedom destroys lives, robs people of their dignity, and takes away their birthright of being controlled. How will you know who the communist candidates are in the next election in your area? Well, just look for the candidates who have a really good reason for taking away certain freedoms. They're your communist candidates that will help protect you from freedom. When you live in the terror of freedom, it's like you have to live your own life. No one else is going to live it for you. And that's clearly not the purpose of your life. And that's why you'll want to vote communism. It offers you a better way. It helps your life be about what those in power want from you. And that's a life worth living. There is no God. Communism. Isn't that a funny joke? Daddy's working. But hey, I want to thank the sponsor of this video, Cognibiotics, made by Bioptimizers. I love Cognibiotics because it helps boost my mood naturally while also increasing my cognitive performance. Both are important to me. I mean, sometimes I'll wake up and I feel low for no reason, or I have anxiety, but I want to feel good in my mood because one, it feels way better, and two, I want to be at my best emotionally because I don't want to traumatize people around me. So, Cognibiotics helps me feel my best in my mood and helps me perform at my best, cognitively speaking. Cognibiotics has proven strains of probiotics that researchers have found naturally help boost the mood and increase mental performance. It's also loaded with a 2,000-year-old blend of adaptogenic traditional Chinese herbs that further boosts its potency. I love it. And I'm pretty convinced that Wilder loves me more because of it. And you might love it too, as far as boosting your mood and increasing your cognitive performance. So if you want to join me in enjoying Cognibiotics, just go to cognibiotics.com/JP and use the discount code JPDeal10 to get a deal. Wilder likes that. There's just one more thing. If you're the type of person that likes to choose freedom over fear, then you might like my new merch line. It's all based on the freedom ethos. You can check it out. It'll help you flex your freedom.